many of the foods we enjoy today have fascinating origins rooted in ancient myths and legends. Whether they were believed to possess magical properties or were associated with deities, these foods have transcended their mythical origins to become staples in modern diets. Here are 10 foods whose origins are deeply intertwined with myths, legends, and ancient beliefs. 1. Honey. Honey has long been considered a gift from the gods, revered for its sweetness and medicinal properties. In Greek mythology, honey was associated with the gods and was believed to be the food of the immortals, especially Zeus, the king of the gods. The ancient Egyptians also saw honey as a divine offering and used it in rituals and to embalm the dead. Its natural preservative qualities have helped maintain its mystique across cultures. 2. Apples. Apples feature prominently in various myths and legends, most famously in the Greek myth of the golden apples of the Hesperides. These apples were said to grant immortality to whoever ate them and were protected by nymphs and a dragon. The apple also plays a crucial role in the biblical story of Adam and Eve, symbolizing knowledge and temptation. Today, apples are a common, but still somewhat mystical, fruit in many cultures. 3. Pomegranates. In Greek mythology, the pomegranate is deeply connected to the story of Persephone and her abduction by Hades. When Persephone ate 6 seeds from a pomegranate in the underworld, she was bound to return for 6 months of every year, explaining the changing seasons. The pomegranate has since become a symbol of fertility and rebirth, and it is revered in many cultures for its rich symbolism. 4. Olives. The olive tree is sacred in Greek mythology, particularly to the goddess Athena, who is said to have created the first olive tree. According to the myth, Athena gifted the olive tree to the city of Athens, and it became a symbol of peace and prosperity. Olives have been valued not only for their culinary uses but also for their oil, which was considered divine and used in religious ceremonies. 5. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are associated with several ancient myths, particularly in the Greek and Roman worlds. In ancient Greece, it was believed that the cucumber had cooling and healing properties, often used in mythological tales to represent the bounty of nature. In the Roman era, cucumbers were thought to be favored by the gods, especially Bacchus, the god of wine, who supposedly created them to nourish his followers. 6. Cherries. Cherries are often tied to myths surrounding love and fertility, especially in Japanese folklore. According to one myth, the goddess Omoikane used cherries to save a starving village by transforming them into food. In Roman mythology, cherries were linked to Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, who was believed to have gifted them to mortals as a symbol of love. Today, cherries remain a symbol of prosperity and good fortune. 7. Grapes. In Roman and Greek mythology, grapes and wine were sacred to Dionysus, Bacchus, the god of wine, revelry, and fertility. The myth tells of Dionysus's discovery of wine, which he introduced to humanity, transforming grapes into a drink that symbolized divine pleasure. The myth of Dionysus celebrates the transformation of the grape into wine, and grapes remain symbolic of joy, abundance, and divine inspiration. 8. Figs. Figs have been intertwined with mythology and symbolism for centuries. In ancient Greece, the fig was associated with the goddess Demeter, the goddess of harvest, as a symbol of fertility and prosperity. In Roman mythology, it was said that Romulus and Remus, the legendary founders of Rome, were nursed by a she-wolf beneath a fig tree, making the fruit a symbol of life and the founding of civilizations. 9. Bananas. Bananas are closely tied to myths in many cultures, including those of South America and Southeast Asia. In Hindu mythology, bananas are often considered sacred and are associated with the god Vishnu. Bananas are also featured in myths about creation, with some cultures believing that the first banana plant sprouted from the earth after a divine being's intervention. The fruit is regarded as a symbol of wealth and fertility in various regions. 10. Corn. Corn, or maize, holds immense mythological significance, especially in Native American cultures. The Iroquois believed that corn was a gift from the corn goddess, and it played a central role in many creation myths. In some Native American stories, corn was seen as a symbol of life and sustenance, linked to both the physical and spiritual nourishment of their people. Today, Corn remains a cornerstone of global agriculture and continues to represent abundance. The origins of these foods are not just culinary, they carry with them deep cultural significance and reflect the ways in which ancient peoples sought to understand the world. Whether tied to gods, nature, or creation stories, these foods remind us of our ancestors' belief systems and their reverence for the natural world. These foods have stood the test of time, their mythical connections still resonating today in both their flavors and their symbolism.